Hello, welcome back to my channel once again. In today's video, I bring for you two important concepts that is necessary for everyone to understand while framing a research title or a proposal title. So these two concepts are called as the independent variable and the dependent variable. Now, it is obvious that both these concepts are not related, but I'm going to show you with the help of examples that how these concepts are related and how these concepts are important in order to frame the title of a research paper. So let us understand the first example. So here, um, my first example is related to the problem that I've identified. That is, the learners are not engaged in the classroom in terms of that they are passive recipients of information. So I feel as a researcher that I need to change the methodology in order to improve learner engagement. So one of the methodologies that I have thought of is game-based learning. So I can introduce games like board games, card games, computer games, or video games, and outdoor games. Now, these games will help me to, I believe, will help me to improve learner engagement in the class. Now, it depends upon the researchers to what extent the users is seen in the class. So, therefore, I will say that this is in the hands of the researcher, in the sense the researcher has a control on the type of games, the researcher has control on the number of games or the amount of games or the number of times he introduces games in the class, and thus this is called as an independent variable or the cause that will finally lead the researcher to identify the outcome. So the outcome is the response of the learner. The outcome is the improvement in learner engagement. So therefore, it is called as a dependent variable or the effect on the learner. So I would say that the independent variable and dependent variables are related. So the independent variable is dependent on the independent variable in the sense that how much the researcher uses the games or when he uses the game, how frequently uses the game, and the type of game will determine the learner engagement. So, depending upon the level of the learner, the researcher will have to change the games accordingly and also keep in mind that the needs of the learners also has to be taken into account. So, having understood the independent and dependent variables, now I frame my title accordingly. So, in this particular case, the title could be the impact of game-based learning on learner engagement. So having understood this concept, let us now move to the next example. So one thing that I've observed is that the plants die very soon. They don't live for a longer time. So therefore, I have identified the solution to this problem. The solution is watering the plants adequately, exposing them to the sunlight, and of course, improving the quality of the soil by adding fertilizer. Now, therefore, these three concepts, they are the independent variable. That is, it is in the control of the researcher. It can be manipulated by the researcher as to how much water he needs to give to the plants and how much he should expose the plants to the sunlight and how much fertilizers he should use in order to enhance the quality of the soil. So before this is called as called as a cause, and this cause will finally determine the effects of the plant. So depending upon how much the researcher used all these variables, the independent variables, so that will determine the quality of the plant, and therefore this is called the effect. So both of them are related. So if I do not water the plant adequately, it will be reflected on the plant. The growth will not be properly observed, and of course the plants might die again. And if I do not expose the plants to sunlight, I may not get the fruits that I'm expecting from the plant, and so on. So the soil has to also be taken care of, and this is where how the independent and dependent variables are related. So accordingly, I will frame my titles of my research paper on the effect of irrigating the food for better improvement of crop. So this is how I can fill my cycle. So having understood this, I would like to thank all of you for your patient listening. Do subscribe to my channel because then I can come up with more videos like this. Thank you.